Hell, it feels great. I'm exhausted though, but no, it's just. I said it before. It's the moment I was waiting for, and to grab a win on the road at a tough place like here, it's even better. And on top of it, for the most part, they played exactly what we worked on. They played exactly how I wanted them to play, and that makes me happy.
It makes us happy too, Marco. Good morning, Thursday, October 9th. Play that music, baby! Woo! Boston has entered the chat. The Bruins win! Bruins win! Yes! That's how you start a season right there. The boys are indeed back. Now we get to the home opener tonight. After going to the nation's capital, handling the Caps 3-1. This is a Bruins party, everyone. Call us 617-790-0928. Travis Thomas, the Kasey Hudson, and Lucy Burdge in the house. Welcome, ladies. Welcome.
Oh, man. He's exhausted. He's exhausted. Marco, I feel you. Why? Because I tested my oxygen levels for 60 minutes.
Yes, you did.
Or plus 60 minutes, a few hours yesterday.
Yeah.
And then once you get that kind of win,
yeah.
Once you feel just this kind of exhale, not for yourself as a fan, but for the guys,
yep.
for the players, for this first win of the season where you're being discounted. What time did I go to bed? I couldn't tell you because my mind just kept doing things.
I bet your neighbors could tell you.
My neighbors, we have a love-hate going on. Because they're fans, I get a little bit of reprieve to my psychosis breaking constantly.
Yeah.
And they know we got a long season ahead. But wow, the things that I celebrated last night, they were just like, hey, ma'am, it's a Wednesday night.
Yeah, pipe down. We have work in the morning. By the way, speaking of work, Luce, how about this?
Yeah.
Bruins win and Yankees lose.
Yeah.
I mean, what's better, Luce?
Yeah, not only did all of that happen, but the Bruins did us a favor and they won. They got that sealed and done and dusted.
Yep.
Just in time to finish the Yankees hate watch. So that was a really good thing.
Hate watch.
Cam Slittler, credit,
that's really how it's been. The socials have been ready to just wait for the demise of the Yankees.
Well, listen, it's
Very
a Bruins
exciting.
party. No Bruins party is complete without making fun of the Yankees. So get in here, 617-790-0928. Let's get to the game last night. Of course, we'll preview tonight's game later, but let's recap first.
Happy to.
First of all, Pasta yet again, drawing first blood. I didn't realize this is the fourth straight opener where he scored the first goal. I was like, wow, that stat to me blew my mind.
Yeah.
But Pasta, we knew this was going to come, right? This is the offense. They are Pasta dependent in the best way possible. He delivered.
Yeah.
Then I thought just the formula of the game. We talked about it yesterday, Case. And I bet the under. You like the under in the game.
Loved it from the beginning.
And I knew even after that first period, which was scoreless, I said, okay, Bruins formula. The Caps are playing into their hands. This is a Bruins style game. And I knew that would be advantage Bruins. I didn't bet on them to win the game. Shame on me. But, hey, the under cash.
You did say sprinkle a little money, though, because the spidey senses were like, if they do their style of play, if they do that hard nose, it really could be theirs.
And that's my takeaway from the game is this is the formula to success for this team. Goaltending, defense, and then take advantage offensively, mistakes, things like that. You're not going to score a ton of goals every game, but your top line's going to deliver. This was the formula last night moving forward.
Oh, my gosh. There were so many big takeaways, starting with that first period alone. Of course, for a second, you're freaking out because you're just like, let's stop gifting power plays because that was one of the main things noted. This is not the kind of team that you want to put on the power play. But so brilliantly noted throughout the broadcast, it mentioned the fact that because things didn't snap on the power play for the Capitals during the playoffs, they were kind of retooling and refiguring some things themselves. So you have this powerful guy in Alex Ovechkin who's trying to work his one-timer from the right circle versus the left circle, which is his home office. So some of those things did give the Bruins an advantage. But considering also the number of power play opportunities the Capitals had in the first period alone, that's where they generated their most shots. So considering if those chances didn't happen, the Bruins were keeping things very low when it came to shot volume. They were being very disruptive, more importantly, in the neutral zone. So the Capitals, you can tell in some ways, underestimated where the Bruins were going to be a little bit more stout, and that gave them an upper hand in some ways. Morgan Geekie opens things up with a breakaway opportunity. Like, you just saw the hunger and the thirst, the bloodthirst, in all honesty, from this team from the jump.
I feel as though expectations will be down for the Bruins this season, so we may get that at least early in the year from a lot of teams. A lot of teams could be sleeping on the Bruins. Lucy, what did you make of Kevin Pasternak's performance?
Yeah, Kevin, right? I was going to say, he did change his name, right? Because Fanatics did make a point to just kind of reveal that to everyone. Where do you get Kevin? Like, where do you get Kevin?
He's not giving Kevin.
Lucy, I'm disturbed at the Kevin situation because look, we love Pasta.
Right.
But he barely gives off David.
Right, this is true.
Like, David is already like a sneaky stretch. Kevin?
Honestly, do you think of him even having a first name? Like, I generally don't even. It's either Pasta or Pastrnak. Like, I don't even. So maybe that's where they get Kevin.
Like, first and last name Pastrnak.
Right.
Last name Pasta.
But to put that on an official graphic, it's like, oh, nobody, first of all, to do that in the first place, he has one of the top selling jerseys, and you can't get his first name right, which, his first name isn't on the jersey, so maybe there's an oversight.
Yeah.
But there's no, like, oh, we're going to, like, look this over. There's no editing process, I guess.
Well, I know you dabble in the gambling. You dabble in the gambling like I do. Going into that game, did you have faith that this team would win it, or did you think they'd lose it down in D.C.?
I thought they would win it, and just like you said, Kasey, I think Marco Sturm was very smart to set the expectations for this team as not, oh, we're going to make the playoffs. This team is going all the way. No, just growth. Just find our identity.
Game by game.
Growth game. But so other teams are like, oh, okay, their mindset might not be all go. Right. It might just be, we're going to take it day by day. And so, no, the Bruins come out firing, and other teams might underestimate them going forward as well, maybe in the home opener, perhaps. But I think the odds also underestimate them. They are at the bottom of the list of teams to win the Stanley Cup this year. So their odds are pretty long, and get shorter with each win. But even to make the playoffs, their odds were plus 400 yesterday. So faith in them is a little. The people are underestimating them. The books are underestimating them. Hopefully, other teams will too, because they can overpower them.
Well, whether it's Kevin, David, Pasta, whatever you call him, he was proud of the boys after this one.
Great team effort. I think wasn't our best, obviously. We got much better, but it's game one, with grinding together. I think, defensively we played really good game. Any breakdowns, Sway was there. He had our back all game. It was unbelievable today. Penalty killers, outstanding. So, great away win. Get home and regroup for tomorrow.
Thoughts on the power play?
Well, obviously got a big goal from breakout. We had only 2, against 6, so we make the most out of it today, and that's obviously we take that. So it's a great step one for power play. Like I said, gonna already shift our focus for tomorrow's game.
Did you sense that your style frustrated them at all, especially in the first period?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want. We want to build our game each period to get better. We obviously had some struggles in the second period. We are aware of it, but like I said, it's game one. It's a good team effort win. Obviously, there's been mistakes. There always be, but it was a greedy win against a really good team on the road.
All right, listen, you heard him mention Jeremy Swayman there. 35 saves for Sway. Did give up the 1 goal. If he's going to play like that, this team is legit. Here was Swayman after his performance.
That's important. It's important for our group to take the momentum that we had from training camp and just continue it. And that's where we had great bounce backs tonight. We stuck together, and that's good signs starting off a regular season.
You saw a lot of shots in the second period, but overall, do you think that's the way you guys have to play to win here?
I think we just have to stay consistent and know that things are going to get better. And right now we have things to work on. That's good. It's something to identify and grow from and just keep building. We have a lot of games to do that.
How impressed were you by your penalty killers in front of you?
That's something that we need to build on right away and take pride in. And again, I think we did a great job just really sticking to our routes. Guys making great reads, blocking shots when needed. And that's something that you really want to see early on.
How well were you seeing the puck through traffic tonight?
What's that?
How well were you seeing the puck through traffic tonight?
That's the biggest priority is seeing the puck off the stick. And again, my guys were allowing me to do that and fighting around screens in that front. They're giving kudos. They have a great team and just making sure I saw the shot off the stick.
What does it mean to have 27 and 73 back on the ice full time?
That's nice. It's it's a good feeling as being in the crease, having those guys in front of you again.
Did you also play and win for Marco?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's something that, we really wanted to come together as a team about, and, have be a part of his first National Hockey League win was really special. He deserves it, and we're going to keep going for him.
Call us, talk Bruins. It's a Bruins party, 617-790-0928. Case, if you're telling me this defense is going to play like this, Swayman's going to play like that, this team is going places, and a lot of us maybe are sleeping on them. I know it's only one game, but this is a formula, is it not?
Absolutely. I mean, copy and paste, hard to play against. First of all, the penalty kill, outstanding. 5-on-3, I celebrated like this team was in the playoffs. I was losing my ever-loving mind, and it was 55 seconds, which can be forever in hockey for all the hockey fans out there. But he mentioned it. I've said it 10,000 times. You can vouch for me on this. The defense playing in front of your goaltending is going to make a massive impact. It's going to change the frame of how your goaltender kind of has confidence, how they kind of make up for any sort of crazy maneuvers. And the one goal that got past the defense, you kind of saw the guys freeze up for a second because there was weird things happening with Tom Wilson trying to set up and execute that play. So if that freeze doesn't happen, you're still possibly looking at a different result there. And that's fine for game one. So this is a great start and a great foundation. The hard to play against very much spoke for itself between defenses play. I mentioned the neutral zone earlier, the penalty kill being sharp, Swayman being on top of it. I mean, he was fantastic. And that top line coming in for the rest.
This team is going to be like giant killers, right, Luce? Bet them on the puck line, bet the unders, and then every now and again pick your spots, money line them, they'll cash for you.
Yeah, money line tonight still has a little bit of value. It's about minus 160 perhaps. Very important for Swayman too to build confidence this season as well. So if you want to bet them to make the playoffs, perhaps plus 380 is what they are today. So it's a little bit of value there as well. And if this team, maybe they don't lose at all this season, who knows? Because they haven't yet. So
are we getting a World Series tweet?
Don't you do that tonight. Don't you do that. We need them to win at home. Don't you curse this team right now. 617-790-0928. Call us. Bruins party. We're partying. Home opener tonight. Making fun of the Yankees. Can I do it one more time? No! Yankees lose! Coming up here on Boston has entered the chat. To buy out or not to buy out? That is the question down in Chapel Hill in regards to Chapel Bill. We'll explain next. Right here on Boston has entered the chat. Now that's a tease. That's a tease.
Well, that and the song. It's the songbird for the Yankees.
Get over. I mean, we're talking about Bill Belichick, who is the greatest NFL coach in history. Right now, Jeff, he's working toward being the worst coach in college football history. That's how bad he is. There's nothing to be happy about. It's an abject disaster. I feel badly for the guy because it seemed like a good idea at the time, but right now, who in their right mind would want to go play for him?
Oh, grand opening, grand closing for Chapel Bell. Oh, it's not looking great. I
vote for it.
All right, listen, it may not need votes the way it's going. We had Pat Welter on yesterday. You remember Case from WRAL. He was all over this.
Yeah.
And he was telling us, it is not good. There was stuff he couldn't even say on air to us because of legalities of things going on. And I'm thinking some of those things that he couldn't tell us were in these tweets. Let's look at these series of tweets from Ali Conley here. All right, per sources, Bill Belichick has discussed buyout options with North Carolina's hierarchy. Belichick has signaled a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team, or in the media. No. Members of Belichick's coaching staff, like Jordan Hudson, have already spoken to other schools, I threw that in, that are expected to be in the playoffs and taking on roles during the postseason. From one coach, quote, "The Rats are leaving the ship." Oof, how about that quote? Some staffers believe a change will come within 2 weeks. But wait, there's more. Reports of serious recruiting violations remain under investigation at UNC. Recruiting and practice violations have already been proven by the school, according to multiple sources. Using recruit violations to knock down a coach's buyout has become a standard practice. If Belichick cannot find a landing spot to trigger his own buyout, he won't. He's expected to accept a greatly reduced compromised rate. Yikes. Belichick's communication with his staff in the past 2 weeks, communication with this guy again, has been described as, quote, weird and distant by multiple members of UNC's coaching staff. Multiple coaches were unable to get a hold of him during the bye week. Oh, my God. From one UNC defensive assistant, what we've done to these kids is bleeped up. Yikes. So UNC,
Big time.
UNC had a rebuttal here. Nothing to see here, everybody. I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building here. That's from Bill. UNC Bubba Cunningham, the AD, says Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and University. I'm going to go ahead and translate that to we don't want to get sued.
Right.
We're working this out. We want to get rid of this guy and his girlfriend, but we don't want to get sued here, so we're not going to put our foot in our mouth. We'll let all these reporters tell you what's going on. That's how I took it.
Well, yes, and PR 101, journalism 101, if certain conversations get ahead of you managing your legal bases, that's where you have to come out with a statement like that, because the bottom line is this is a fractured program. You cannot be the head of a program and have terrible communication, number one. And yes, Bill Belichick has been this guy who has had this bravado about him since day one, but when you are impacting the kids, when you're making detrimental decisions like the Patriots can't do this and the Patriots can't do that, and you're hindering where that might be the best placement for these kids from a non-football school. You're putting so many boundaries and gutters up, impacting your program when you first got there. And probably one of the larger excitements around this, outside of the drama of him and his girlfriend, was like, okay, maybe we're seeing a new kind of Bill Belichick. Maybe we're seeing a less guarded Bill Belichick. And that was supposed to resonate for him to be effective at the college level, because it doesn't translate. And right now, personality's not translating, coaching's not translating, and everything else that needed to happen at UNC, which is already not a football school, isn't working out.
Y'all don't know this, but behind the scenes, I've been holding Lucy back, because she's been waiting to unleash on this entire thing. Get him, Luz. Get him.
Because we are seeing a new Bill Belichick. This is not the same guy. This guy is a disaster.
There's poison in his coffee.
Totally. Okay, so this whole thing, even if these two statements, which are unbelievable from UNC, from Belichick and Bubba Cunningham, are true, the whole thing is a disaster.
Yeah.
It's beginning to end. If you are a player, which is what this is all about anyway, getting these players and their talent to the NFL, that was Bill Belichick's whole thing with coming to UNC, is like, oh, I'm Bill Belichick. I know what it takes to succeed at the NFL level, to win Super Bowls at the NFL level. Then he bars the Patriots, an NFL team, one of the most prestigious ones, from their scouts coming to the games. The reports about, oh, we can't tweet out our alumni, Drake May stuff. He is blocking these kids off from success, and he is not setting them up for success. What they have said, the quotes, oh, it's effed up what we have done to these players. That is who this is not benefiting. The documentary fiasco. So Belichick now has the same number of wins as canceled documentaries. 2 wins, 2 canceled documentaries. The whole thing is a disaster. And Paul Feinbaum saying, oh, I feel bad for the guy. Don't feel bad for this guy. He did this to himself.
Over and over.
He did this to himself. You know who looks great in this right now? Robert Kraft looks phenomenal for being fed up with this guy and saying, you know what, Bill Belichick sucks and I can't deal with him anymore. And now Tom Brady, too, all these years saying, oh, it was Bill and Tom. Was it more Bill than Tom? It was all Tom.
It was Tom.
All Tom. And now Tom can have this like karmic revelation of like, oh, I can just bathe in
a
the fact.
silent moment of just like success
Seriously,
of his
it's
decisions.
all tumbling down for Bill Belichick. So this is, I think, if you are a Bill Belichick hater, this is a great time to be really watching and keeping an eye on things, because this is just, it's mortifying, first of all, because you have a guy who is the greatest NFL head coach of all time, and now the worst college football. I mean, it is really tough to argue he's not the worst college football coach of all time. Just across the board. Just the record, the Jordan Hudson thing, first of all, Jordan's a queen. This is really just putting a damper into my Halloween costume, you guys, because I'm going to be Jordan for Halloween. Just reveal that. I am still going to be her. But maybe
sorry,
a spin
I didn't mean
on
to
this.
raise my octave there.
I think she could still do it. Just put like a loser sign on. It's fine.
Just an L on my forehead, because what she has, I mean, without her, none of this. I don't want to put this all on
She got
Jordan.
him to college, you think?
The influence that she has had on Bill Belichick, but also he got into this relationship of his own free will. well, I guess. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But this is, he has made her part of the story. So the whole thing, because when you look at the colors of UNC, you think of Jordan and her outfits. Like, that's what I do. It's all intertwined now. So, unfortunately. So it's just mortifying to see Bill Belichick now be pretty much unmasked as, like, has this always been what Bill Belichick has been? And now there's no one to protect him. So this is really just
Jordan better work on the unemployment color combos, because that's exactly where they're headed. Let's go to Alan in Arizona by way of Lawrence. He's family to the program. He wants to talk about the come up of the Bruins and the downfall of Bill.
Hey, good morning, guys. Wonderful show as always. And yes, Travis, that is what hockey gloves make your hands smell like. Even worse. Anyways, on to some of the things. The Bruins, I am just going to keep a positive attitude. Again, I just want to see progress. I want to see solid play. That if the coaching comes through, which for whatever reason we're always able to hire wonderful coaches, I believe that we'll do that again. Faith in Cam Neely, Don Sweeney, power of positivity. Now, I just want to get to the Belichick stuff. Here is the fact. If you took Bill Belichick's whole career, okay, you bookended it, and you take Tom Brady out of it, he has a .466 win percentage. Okay? The season before Brady took over, we were 5-11. I believe we were 1-3 going into that Jets game. This is it is proof, and now it's hindsight, fine, but sometimes that's all you have. This is proof that Tom Brady was the world's biggest Band-Aid. More proof to the greatness of Tom Brady. Belichick got a lot of the credit, and at the time it seemed reasonable, but now you can see it's not. And as far as the Jordan Hudson thing, I mean, basically Bill Belichick has told Leonardo DiCaprio, hold my beer. All right. Don't drink too many of them, Travis. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you.
I will drink all those beers.
Was that a hold my beer to close that out? Alan, you're a legend.
He's a legend.
Bill and Leo only share one thing in common. It ain't looks. Okay, let's just leave it there. 617. That's it. 617-790-0928. When we come back, hey, we'll explore what's trending in the world of sports right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Next, roll with us. We'll be right back. Time now for what's trending in the world of sports. Sports. Did you ladies see what David Andrews said? David Andrews says that Drake May has the Tom Brady effect. Because remember, Drake May got drafted rookie year. David Andrews was hurt.
Yeah.
In this offseason, he retires, so he never got a chance to really play alongside a Drake May. Take a listen at what he said about the kid.
Me wanting to play again this year, he had a lot to do with that.
Dude, I literally moved my family across the country to play for Josh and Baker.
I wasn't going to say Josh. I was saying Drake.
Let's talk about Drake.
Yeah, I'm talking about Drake.
Let's talk about the Messiah.
Yeah, I was talking about Drake. And then, obviously, once they hired Josh, I was like, oh, yes, like, offense, comfortable, like, yes. But Drake, in reality, was like, I want to play with this. I didn't get to play with him.
Sure.
And I believed in him, and he was... I don't know, when you're an O lineman, you don't get the ball. But I think what I'm trying to say is hopefully now these pass catchers are seeing what Drake's doing.
Yeah.
And you're going to see the effect of like the Tom Brady type of effect where people are like, okay, I could go to so-and-so for this and come to the Patriots for this. I'm not just going to take that offer. Now it's
AJ Brown.
Now it's like I'm coming to New England because this guy is the deal, and he's going to get me the ball, which is going to make me better, which is going to get me paid, which is hopefully we have success. All those factors.
Do you think Josh McDaniels heard that clip and was like, "What did I do to you, David? Like, what?" But
he didn't find his money.
I know, but what David's talking about, I mean, he's basically saying this Drake May kid is so good that New England now all of a sudden becomes a destination for the players around the league.
Yeah.
Do you two see it that way? Lucy, take it away.
I do, because Drake May has this, as he said, Tom Brady effect, where he has this aura, first of all. He is a leader and he's talented. And those two together, It's Tom Brady right there. Tom Brady was a leader, and he was, of course, very talented. Drake May has this understated way of going about business, which Tom Brady also did for a long time. It was just business as usual, and that's exactly what I think Drake May is starting to do, is getting the attention of just the football world in general. Oh, maybe the Patriots are for real under the guide of Drake May at the helm. But for other players to see the Patriots as a destination would be different than in the past couple of years, because suddenly players will say, oh, I want to come to New England to play with Drake May, and their girlfriends don't want to move to Georgia all of a sudden.
Sure.
Oh, I actually maybe don't mind that the weather is not as good in New England as in Miami. And so Drake May is now the draw, where the quarterback is the draw once again, like it was with Tom Brady, where players would be begging to come play for the Patriots and play with Tom Brady. That could be starting to happen again with Drake May. And, Josh McDaniels, too, of course, would be a draw. And so they're like, Josh McDaniels, who?
Yeah, Vrabel, too. I think the difference now, though, is like the Brady Patriots, Belichick didn't want to pay anyone.
Yes.
So now it's like, listen, this team has the most cap space in the NFL. So, Case, I look at it as, if I'm a free agent, not only do you have this young stud at quarterback, Josh McDaniels calling the plays, Mike Vrabel leading everyone, but I can get paid now.
Yep.
Well, the pay part isn't even really jumped out to me, because when you see Tom Brady effect, then you start comparing the quarterbacks, right? Drake May is a different kind of quarterback. So what I took from the Tom Brady effect was, for one, the buy-in, because the buy-in from all the guys as young as Drake May is very much there in equivalence to how it was for Tom Brady. For two, the standard. A standard has been set because of his work ethic and how he carries himself and how he takes accountability after every single mistake, or not even a mistake, but something that could have been better within his control. And then branch that out even further, culture.
Yeah.
It goes back to the culture for me, because yes, the pay is fantastic, but this culture gives you hope that this can be a winning team sooner rather than later. Not a 5-year projection, but maybe 2 to 3 if things can continue to build. And the trajectory has looked great thus far this season, going from let me hold my breath to, oh my gosh, this team can compete and knock off the Bills. So him being the leader in all of this, that's the Tom Brady effect for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Listen, I think our viewer, Alan, who calls us, shout outs to him, family to the show, he said this earlier, where he said Tom Brady's the ultimate Band-Aid. I think with Drake May, hopefully, in Patriots 2.0 here, he doesn't need to be a Band-Aid.
No,
I
you don't want him to be the Band-Aid.
That's right.
That's the thing.
That's right.
They don't need a Band-Aid now, because they have a head coach with experience and a quarterback that is not being held back by the head coach not talking to him, like with Mac Jones. That was unbelievable.
And another Boston coach that understands communication. Communication to the young guys, communication to the vet, communication of all styles, so that there is a way to collectively bring all minds onto the same page. Getting your team on the same page starts at the head.
Let us communicate about Thursday Night Football, because we have Eagles at the Giants. Wah, wah, wah. Although, listen, I'll be honest. I kind of sort of think the Giants are going to hang in here.
I was going to say, New York's hurting right now, so it feels like they have to do something.
And I like the kid Jackson Dart. Listen, it's less about the Giants and more about the Eagles, of why I think the Giants will be in this game. Does that make sense? I don't like the way the Eagles have won this season. It's been barely by the hair of their chinny chin chins. And then you lose
last year.
You lose a game. Now there's a players-only meeting this week. That's not a great sign. I've never trusted Nick Sirianni, and I kind of sort of feel like, how can this team get away from you when they're that talented? But there's just some dissension in the ranks. There's some cracks here in the armor. I like the Giants to cover. It's 7.5 points tonight.
7 someplace.
And they're at home. Come on. I think the Giants will cover here. I could see sort of a low-scoring, ugly, rock fight type of game, 2 decent defenses. I'll go 20-16, close, but no cigar for the Giants. Eagles barely win like they always do in a low-scoring game.
I don't hate that.
I've been going back and forth on this, because Thursday night football games tend to be weird, but I am more on the side of the Eagles -7. I'm going to take the opposite side of you guys and take the Eagles to cover, because I was looking at some trends.
All right.
The Eagles are 2-0 against the spread on the road this season, which it's a small sample size, but it's still there. They have covered in 3 straight games against divisional opponents. They're 6-2 against the spread in divisional games since 2024, and they have straight up won 7 of their last 9 games against NFC East opponents. Now, then you say, oh, Thursday night football games are weird. So that just all goes out the window.
I was literally about to say Thursday night football games. Prime time gets weird.
It's weird. But I'm still more comfortable taking the Eagles to cover -7. Is where I got that. So
if we're going with weird, you know what I want to see?
Upset?
I want to see Scatterbo have a heyday.
Oh, I could see that.
Number one. Number two, Jackson Dart just does really wild things when his running back, I'm pulling from the college script, when his running back is having a day, he is having a freaking day.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got some exposure there when it comes to the Eagles defense because they're a little banged up with their linebacker room. So all of those guys are going to be coming in and trying to make sure that they punch those gaps so that no run game can generate. They're hanging on by a little bit of a thread right now. So if you want to talk about a weird primetime game, running the ball down the Eagles' throat and Jackson Dart just thriving off of it, not to mention him using his legs, because that's what I love.
To be honest, if the Giants are going to cover or pull off an upset, Jackson Dart has to beat the Eagles from the pocket, because you make a great point. I didn't know the running back tandem thing, but when I watch
he feeds off of it.
He does.
When you watch all of his college film, it's just like if he has a big day, his running back has a big day.
Well, when I watch him play in the NFL, he's running all over the place here.
Yeah.
And he can throw it too, don't get me wrong, but he's a guy, he's kind of like Drake May in that sense, but I think Drake May is further along as a pocket passer than Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are talented enough, because they have talent up and down that roster on both sides of the ball, to say, hey, kid, if you're going to beat us or hang in this game, you got to do it from the pocket. We're taking that away from you. You're not going to run on us. Is he good enough to make that happen? That I don't know. Kid has moxie, but I don't know if he's good enough to stand in the pocket and throw darts, pun intended.
No, I agree. And plus, it became a thing in college for him to where, like, when this team was against the ropes, it was, Dart, we need your legs. And that's what bailed them out of a number of situations, bad situations, and that is what helped them accumulate a couple of big comebacks as well. It was Dart being able to take off on the dime. So that's what I mean about the tandem of him feeding off of his running back a bit as well. And a lot of that goes down whenever they get almost 30 out from the from any sort of touchdown opportunities. I don't know what country I'm from saying sort of, but you get what I'm saying with that. So that's
it makes a lot of sense.
Help.
Do you have any more bets in this? Or you have any player props or anything?
Yes, because what I was going to say is all this could happen, but Saquon Barkley could go off here because he tends to do that against his former team. Anytime touchdown for Saquon Barkley is something to keep.
Oh, I like that. Do you have the price on that?
I
would
will
like
find
to. I tell you what I bet.
I will let you know.
I bet. Well, he's going to play. It's his old team.
Yes.
I would bet Saquon anytime. I like that, and I would take whatever Jackson Dart's rushing yards over. Yeah. Even though I just said I think the Eagles are going to try to contain him. Maybe you can't contain them.
Well, they can blow out the Giants, maybe, and the Eagles will cover, perhaps.
Oh, and then you like to say on the fumbleitis note that you mentioned with other players, as long as Scatterbo doesn't have any fumbleitis, as you mentioned it,
good point.
It can be a fun game.
All right, Sophia joins us next to talk Bruins. Remember, it is a Bruins party. Get in here, 617-790-0928. Call us. Let's party. Bruins at home tonight. Bruins winning the nation's capital last night. And don't forget, no, Yankees lose. Got to add that in, too. Roll with us. Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat. No Bruins party is complete without Sophia. Sophia, just so you know, every time people meet me and they recognize me from Nesson, they go, oh, you work at Nesson? I see you all the time. I'm like, yeah, thanks. I think maybe a picture, an autograph, and they go, how's Sophia? She seems so cool. I'm like, oh, yeah, she's great. Thank you,
Never
Sophia.
about you, Travis.
Yeah, I know.
It's never about you.
Sophia Jurksztowicz joins us here on Boston has entered the chat. Before we talk Blackhawks tonight, let's reflect on what happened in the nation's capital last night. What were your reactions from that win?
I have so many reactions, but first my reaction is to this beautiful intro. Thank you for that. Tell them that I love them all when you meet them. But no, thank you so much. I heard your tease into break, and then you said coming up next, it's Sophia. And I was like, oh, wow, no last name. Do I have like the Elvis status? Like no last name needed? No, like Prince, Elvis? I'm like, wait, where's the last name? But I kind of like it.
I actually think you're at the level now, icon status. You can just take out Sophia and be a symbol of some sort. Perhaps a hockey stick or something.
Dude, my ego, when I go back to Toronto, is so inflated when I'm in Boston because Bruins fans are so loyal. I swear to God, you could put, I don't know, like a talking mop, and they'd be like, I love that mop. It doesn't matter. If you're talking Bruins, they love you. So thank you to all Bruins Nation and you guys. Also, I was going to make a comment. Mean for having me on in the morning, but actually because it was late last night, but you guys gave me the latest time slot for the show. So thank you for letting me sleep in a little because we are turning it back around today. Yes. So to answer your question, listen, I'm going to say this. Kasey knows this because we host the Hockey Hub together, but I am not worried as people are about this team. Everyone's like, they're not going to be good. Yes, this is the retool. I don't think we're going to have the same freaking year we had 2-3 years ago with that record setting or before and after, like couching that. We had some good years other than last year. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. There was a time, I think ever since I really got to the Bruins 6 years ago, that I was like, yeah, they're competing for the President's Trophy every single year. That's not what I'm saying. But everyone who's like, this is going to suck, they're going to have to grind out games, it's going to be hard to watch, I completely disagree. And we're going to see lulls, just like we see, guess what, in every single NHL team, except one time with the Bruins in that record-setting year. Like, that was an anomaly. It set NHL records. Duh. So, like, let's not put that as the standard. You see the best teams go through lulls. You see 8 seeds win the Stanley Cup. It's going to be okay. And last night, obviously, I would have liked more shots on net. That was kind of hard. It was like almost the end of the second period, and we're looking at 10 shots on goal. I was like, okay, we don't like this. But Jeremy Swayman was great. The top line was clicking. The PK, which wasn't that good last year, was great. And the power play had some good looks in the first period. I don't think they registered a shot in that first power play period, but there was a good chance with Arvidsson and Middlestat that looked good. And obviously they capitalized eventually on the power play. No power play goes at 100% anyway, but what we're looking at is, are the breakouts good? Is the passing good? Is it faster? Do they have puck possession? Are they getting opportunities? And the answer was yes. So for me, all good things with game one.
And heading into last night in game one, Marco Sturm set the expectations for this team not too high, kind of in the middle, and saying that they just need to find their identity, and he's looking for growth. Do you think that he should be setting expectations higher? Do you think this is a playoff team, or is that just too far ahead of a goal right now to think about?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do like the fact that you bring up the expectations and are they, too low or too high. I think to the media, maybe he's just, and that's a coach's job, it's, especially without a captain, to protect the team and to protect the room. So I think he's kind of saying those things, not saying that they're not authentic, because his goals aren't Stanley Cup, and I don't think they should be this early unless all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, this team is way more stacked, or this young talent that's coming out is way better than we thought, or they're clicking better. But for now, I think it's too early, so that's part of the reason there's that answer. But he's protecting his team too, so that if he comes out and he's like, listen, we're going to be the best, forget next year, we got this, and they don't have a captain, and the media takes that narrative and that's not happening, then that room is getting messages with the guys and the girls in the room asking questions about, like, you guys are below expectations, and that's going to, like, be a bit of a toxic vibe in the room. So he's protecting them a little bit. I don't think his expectations should be higher yet, but I think internally he does have them. And that's what, you're an athlete, no matter what level, you want the best. And I'm sure there's that fire within him. And I think he's just kind of taming it right now.
Good morning, Soph. All right.
Hi, Case.
Hi. Well, yeah, and Marco Sturm has mentioned that he's not a big picture guy as well. You and I have talked about it on the Hockey Hub. We were very hyped for these guys feeling some type of way about being underestimated. They kept sneaking that into conversations. They kept sneaking that into scrums. Let everyone continue to underestimate us. They're taking on a Chicago Blackhawks team who are also severely underestimated, had the Florida Panthers on their toes. This young group showing that they're going to be, try to be hard to play against as well. And then there's a reunion tonight with a number of former Bs, Bertuzzi, Donato, Foligno, Grzelcyk. What does that mean in terms of just like the energy that we can expect out of tonight's matchup?
I mean, the energy is going to be high just because it's a home opener. It's back-to-back, so the guys will be buzzing. It's so funny when it's back-to-back games. I always joke about how the media spins a narrative. It's either like they're not going to have energy because they're tired when they don't play well, or they had the energy because it was back-to-back, so they're feeding off the momentum. So no one really friggin' knows what comes with the back-to-back, but I think the boys will be buzzing because it's only game 2, so you can't be tired yet. You come off a win. Like you said, you're facing some former teammates. The TD Garden, the Bruins crowd is the best in the world, and they're going to be, they're going to feed off of that. So expectations for tonight, I do expect it to be I don't think any team's going to blow the other one out of the water. I do see another Bruins win, and I see it kind of like a grind-out win where it's not going to be obvious. It could go either way, just like it did with this game in the first or second period, and then in the third, either the Bruins are going to come back being down one. I don't know why I think that, but they're either going to come back or they're going to pull away. But I do see it being a 2-0-0 season to start. It'll be nice to see Grizzy, Foligno, like you mentioned, some of the former players. Obviously, Connor Bedard in the house. That's always fun when you're watching a legendary or generational player. So I expect the vibe to be good. And remember, just plugging my show shamelessly, but we have Charlie Jacobs, the CEO and governor of the Boston Bruins, at our pregame show. So I want to get his vibe, his questions today. This is kind of like, we have the opening ceremony with the Garden. It's good. It's a celebration. It's the start of the season. It's going to be good vibes and a good game.
It is good vibes. And I like that you're taking the B's tonight from your lips to the hockey god's ears. I hope it happens. Let's talk about formula here, because we've been talking about that this morning. I mean, obviously defense, Swayman, if he could play like he did last night, you're in good shape. And then, of course, that top line scoring goals. But I also see, hey, you have to capitalize on mistakes. When the other team makes mistakes, you have got to put the biscuit in the basket for this team. Is this a formula here, Sophia? Low scoring, grind it out, kind of rock fight type games here, just old school hockey, really. Is that the formula for success for the Bruins?
I mean, I think that's what we're going to see in a lot of the games. I don't think low scoring is a formula you want to adopt, where you're like, okay, we'll just be low scoring. But to your point, I know that's not what you're saying. The question is, and it has been, and already I heard the narrative spinning, because the only guys that got on the board for the Bruins were that top line. And so the broadcasters yesterday were like, well, where are they going to get secondary scoring? And good question. I'm not knocking it. Good question, good point. But if we see the top line click again and the top line click again, the question then is going to be like, do they have enough? Because that top line can't be the only one that's scoring. I think yes, and I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see some good stuff out of Fraser Mitten. We're obviously hoping Pavel Zacha has a better season, not saying he had a bad one, but he can get that secondary scoring. But it's not like they're stacked up and down the line like they were many years ago when they had a number one center in Bergeron, and then a number one on any other team, but a number two on our team in David Krejci, and then Charlie Coyle. So, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be high-scoring stakes for the Bruins night in and night out, but they're definitely on focusing on better defense. Marco Sturm has made that clear. The broadcast, our guys on the desk have made that clear. Judd and Brick, like, that is going to be a really big key to their success. And Jeremy Swayman and Jonas Korpisalo having better years. So to answer your question in a roundabout way, but hey, that's what we do as broadcasters. You never give it straight. Yes, Travis, I do think that's one of the formulas to their success.
Okay.
Really quick, Soph, because like you mentioned, I mean, the top line has been all of the conversation, and there's not much hope when it comes to secondary scoring. We know that I'm ever the optimist. Is there anyone that you want to kind of see pop tonight? Because Spencer Knight can be a surprise between the pipes for the Blackhawks. Kind of stood off with the Florida Panthers for quite some time there. We're seeing success in high danger chances, but is there anyone that you're just like, hey, I want to see this guy rally?
You know what, Kasey, you cut out for a quick second. Is there anyone who what? Sorry, what's the question?
That you want to see rally or score tonight or like make an impact outside of that top line?
Yeah, I would love to see, and I know this is your boy, I would love to see AC Mont get on the board. I compared him before to, I'm going to stop doing this. No one's come at me at Twitter, but I said the grind that we saw in one of the preseason games, and actually even yesterday on the desk, the guys were saying he may have had one of the best camps out of everyone. And it was a great camp in general, so everyone had a good camp, but he really stood out. He may have had one of the best camps. I loved his grind. I love this, like, it was just this, like, tireless attitude that, it, again, reminded me of Brad Marchand. I'm not saying he is him, but reminded me of that, like, there's no quit. Sometimes Brad would be like in the corner. I'm like, he's not going to retrieve that puck, and he would. And AC Mont kind of gave me that vibe. So I would love to see him get on the board and be that secondary scoring guy. Maybe get a shorty. Not saying I want them to have a penalty, but just kind of those vibes. And I want that for him. And I know we don't have much time left, but if you guys have another question, shoot it at me. But I also have give me 30 seconds for a comment I want to say. Okay.
Do it.
Is it time?
Go ahead.
Listen, I'm cheating. I'm just showing you guys. I still have a tag on this shirt. Do you like it? I'm thinking of, do I return it or not? Do we like it?
Keep it. Keep it.
Keep it.
Okay.
It's a thumbs up from us.
Keep her.
Keep it.
The tag is coming off. That's all I wanted to know, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Sophia, thank you. I would tell you we won't wake you up early again, but that would be a lie. We're going to do it all year long. Thank you, and thank you all for watching us here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. The party continues on Nessa Nation. Roll with us there. We're done here. Peace.